All right, it's another beautiful Saturday. I've been out here in the garage working, and strawberry and shortcake are barking. So let's get you guys caught up on where I am. So my neighbor Jim has let me borrow his little bandsaw here, metal bandsaw, and that has been a lifesaver. That little thing has helped me out so much. So what I did was I've got my... These are the C-notch from CPP. And I know, guys, I Tim Allen things. I go way above and beyond. And some of you guys might say, you didn't have to do any of that. This is just the way I did it. Okay, I want my dad to drive in this car safely. And I want to know that everything is really stout. So I overbuild things a lot. What I did was I put, this is 3/16 right here and right here. So I lined the chassis, the metal that they use for the chassis on the inside with 3/16. I used 1/4 inch piece across, and then I used some 1/8 inch other braces to keep it, side to side so that it's stuck. And then I also, if you remember, there's 3/16 on the backside where the actual shackle is held. So I made sure that I welded this 3/16 to that 3/16. So it's stout. This will fit like this right here. And then I have another piece, grab right here, that I'm putting in right here. Now the reason that I'm putting this in is I thought about the reverse eye on the RideTech leaf spring, and it was coming a little close, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to touch. I didn't want to damage those at all. So this little guy will go right in there, and it's going to drop it down so that I won't have to worry. So you guys can see that. It'll drop it down so I won't have to worry about that leaf spring hitting at all. So that's what I did, guys. That's the stage. I've got some Duplicolor self-etching primer in here. I'll shoot it with VHT chassis black on the inside. That'll coat everything. Both sides are done as far as this goes. I also, and I talked about this before, I plug welded the exterior skin of the frame to the 3/16 on the inside, so it's not going, this is solid all the way through. Now this piece right here, remember, I'm gonna dig into this. I'm gonna open this all back up and make sure that the root of the weld is right down into the 3/16 on both sides. So that'll go all the way through. I'll do that on both sides. The other side, the exterior, I was able to get in here. This is nice. This is really good. There might be like a little place right here that I'll open up, but I'm going to go, once I flip the frame back over, I'm going to go over and fine tune, make sure this is completely done. I might even just cut a channel right in here to the 3/16 to make sure that it's welded all the way down. So for some of you guys, way above and beyond what I did, if you are doing this at home, you don't have to do all this. The instructions don't ask you to do all this. This is just something I'm doing. Since I'm using the RideTech leaf springs, I am lowering it down. You might have to lower the C-notch down just a little bit to make sure that reverse eye doesn't hit. Okay, this is what it looked like before. So right there, it came to here, and I just extended an extra, I think it's an inch past what it was before, and laid it down just a little bit more. Okay, so that's what it looked like. It'd be laying down. I wanted to show you guys before I paint it all up and weld it all up what I'm looking at. Once I shoot the chassis black in, and then I get one side welded up, I'll show you one side versus the other side and what it's going to look like. All right, thanks, guys. Well, I'll see you in a sec. All right, we are all tacked in and good to go. See, I brought it down here so that, because this reverse eye, so that we have some clearance there. Everything else is set up, tacked into place. Good to go over here as well. Tacked up into place. And then let's see here. What else? Oh, let me show you guys this here. So, setting this guy on here. So, we're sitting pretty darn close on there. And sitting pretty darn close right there. 3/16 to 3/16 welded on right here. The pad is good. Remember, I'm going to go back and open this up, fix these welds in here. Didn't get the penetration I needed in here, so I'll go back and fix that. So I'm looking at this, kind of seeing what I want it to be. I think that's going to be fine, because remember, this isn't going to come down backwards like this. It's going to rotate back to the back of the frame, not down into the front of the frame as the axle comes up and down. So I think as we travel forward, that's going to give it plenty of movement. Looks like we'll be good to go. And I've got it the size, or in other words, the thickness of the frame right there is what they wanted it to be. Let's see here. Let me grab my tape measure just to check it out here. Sorry for the shakiness here. So, from there, we're looking just a little over a half. 1.5, sorry. So, not too bad, but the exact width from the top pad to the bottom, the frame itself, we're looking 1.5, and then we're up to 1 3/4 to the top of this guy right here. So I think we're going to be good to go. It all looks good. All right, not too shabby. I'm going to go ahead and burn the rest in. Just wanted to show you guys where we were and what's going on. All right, gonna finish this project up today, hopefully, or at least this back half. So I'll let you guys see at the end, or in just a couple minutes, once I get everything burned in, and we'll see what we look like. Okay, guys, I had delusions of grandeur finishing everything today. Man, grinding just always gets the best of me. So here's what we're ending with today. So this is the passenger side. Once again, I put some plug welds in to take the exterior thin metal of the frame and weld it to the 3/16 that's lining the inside. Went back and, I welded along this. Man, I weld a lot better on, looks like garbage, I'll explain that, but I weld a lot better on thicker metal than I do thinner metal. So this is thinner metal right here, and this is thinner metal, and I had to bridge this gap. There was a gap in here, so I just filled it, and then I put it all together. I'll grind that down and then see what it looks like, and then I'll probably re-weld it again, make sure everything's good. I went back, and there were a couple little parts where the 3/16 right here didn't seem like it was completely welded to the skin of the chassis. Now that I've got a piece of 3/16 lining the inside, I made sure to weld it to the 3/16 on the inside right there. Also, this plate's welded on now. This is what I was meaning, so I had to bridge this gap right in here and then fill that in. And then I went back and I ground down where it hadn't penetrated, and you could see there was a line, a hair line that went along where the 3/16 it just didn't penetrate to the, so I was doing it upside down, and I had the overhang. And so anyway, I went back with my cutting disc, and I cut into it, and now that the 3/16 is on the other side as well, I made sure to weld the top plate to the inner skin right there, welded. This little piece that comes right over here, down, and along the sides right down here. And this is what it looks like when it's ground down. Now this part right here is not a fracture or anything. It's where my grinding disc, I was cutting along the line to try to open it up where I hadn't penetrated on this inside, and it jumped a little bit and cut right there and cut right there. But remember, there's 3/16 that's coming down here, so it's pretty thick back behind there. It looks ugly, so I'll probably go back and re-weld that in just so that it looks better. But as far as structurally, it's totally solid. You can see right here, it's completely solid. There isn't a fracture or anything going along right in here. It's solid. This is just where the weld penetrated, penetrated right here, and there's just a little bit of the gap that was left over. So I'll probably go back. I hate grinding, but I'll probably go back and fill that in. You can see everything up here is done. The C-notch is welded on solid through here, down through the side. I was cutting upside down, so this right here is not the gap. It's where I dug in a little bit, 3/16 on the other side, so I just went in. It's just we're having a hard time grinding. I don't want to grind too far down, but anyway, I'll go back and I'll probably just fill these little things in so they look better, so there aren't any blemishes. But structurally, it's solid. Everything's done right along here. You can see got good penetration all the way through to the steel lining, the walls that are coming down here, so that's all good to go. And I made sure that this top plate is welded really well, so this is welded to this 1/8 inch that goes to here, and then the 1/8 inch is welded onto the, I think it's 12 gauge, which I think is the same as this one right here. This is just a new piece, so it's all welded together, everything's solid. And that's what we're looking like. So like I said, next time I get out here, I'll probably weld those little blemishes once I grind them both down, make sure everything, I had penetration everywhere I needed to, everything's solid. I'll probably go back and, or there's a pretty weld or something like this. For me, that's a pretty weld. I might leave like that right there just so it looks nice. But everything else I'll grind down, make it look really good, make sure it's solid. But yeah, this piece isn't going to flex at all. There will be no flex to that. I also went back. There were 2 little half moon shaped holes that were here that were nice for popping the pockets out when I needed to, but I decided to just weld a little plate in there, and so I'll grind those down, make sure that way water, dirt, anything doesn't get back up in behind these, because the wheels are spinning right here, right? So, and I did the same for the other side. So that's it. Almost done. That's what they look like. Next time I come out here, I'll do some more grinding, just a little more welding, get rid of all these little things that I don't like, that don't look good. But structurally, this is solid over here. That one looks to be solid. We'll see once I grind everything down. But inside, it's, yeah, everything's solid. So thanks guys for checking it out.